Who'd like to open? This is the first of many where I will just connect freely around the world and share and discuss any aspect of the house whispering work that I've been doing for the last 20 odd years. So who'd like to open with any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, Jeremy, hi.
Okay, yes, Christian. I found that when I dowse and I can find Hartmann lines and that kind of thing,
yeah,
I can get very exhausted very quickly and feel pretty bad. And I wondered if you have techniques for preventing that, because what I understand is the situation is that I resonate with it. I let it into my energy body.
Yes.
And therefore, I'm sort of polluting myself with that energy. And what's the technique for preventing that?
I think first of all, you've always got to make sure you're in a strong space, health-wise yourself, at the time you're going to do dowsing. And really, when you're about to kind of go into that situation, just to kind of connect to higher source, and just kind of pull down that light of energy into you, and in a way, kind of separate yourself from the process. It's a bit of an odd one because you've got to engage to feel it, but at the same time, you want to kind of stand back a bit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when we get affected by certain things, it's usually because there's a resonance to some part of your life, your story, that connects with where you are. And remember, any of these lines, you talk about Hartmann, but any of the Curry lines, the other lines, will all have a flavor to them because of what they've absorbed. And so if something hits on something emotional that touches something in your life, that's going to open up and take you down quicker because it will hit on your vulnerable bits. So it's kind of being aware that if you feel a kind of real emotional hit, you know you've hit a resonant story, and you have to then take an extra kind of breath in and pull yourself back out of the situation. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. It also feels sometimes it's just energetic. Sometimes not just emotional. You know, it's just a sort of energetic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and some lines, you know, especially if they're vortexes, you know, can really suck your energy, and they are pretty powerful, and you know, some pretty aggressive. Because remember, any of these energies, and particularly at the crossings where you get the kind of crunchy, spinny bits, they will also tag in spirits and entity energy, which add to the ingredients and the flavor of what is there that might be affecting you. So it's not just the line, it's what's overlaid and caught in the spider web, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Thank you. That's a little bit of dowsing. So have you done much dowsing then yourself, Jeremy?
I've done quite a lot of dowsing, maybe for 20 years really.
Excellent. Yeah.
But I'm finding that I'm discovering new the French Valacesia with their special pendulums, which pick up one type of energy. I find them very interesting.
Yeah. But you know, any pair of dowsing rods from the you know, or I just use a couple you know, the L rods, copper L rods. You can actually program them to pick up whatever you want. So
is that by mentally asking for that thing before you dowse?
Yes, this is because what you're doing is you're programming your intention to seek out a certain resonance, a certain blueprint, and if you've got that in your mind, you're going to find it a lot quicker. You've heard of the witness that some dowsing rods have, so what you're putting in, and usually I don't have one, but usually it's at that point there's a little holder, and you put like a crystal or whatever it is you're looking for.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is exactly the same as doing it with your mind. You're putting a coding, a vibration of that object, and you're asking the rods to radiate and find something of that resonance. But you can do that with your own auric field by just focusing on that. So it's kind of the same thing. So really, the idea with any of this work, as some of you know where I'm coming from, we don't need the physical stuff. It's really the energetic, it's the energetic process of that is really what the work is about. Even with dowsing, it's not the dowsing rods that are finding you something or giving you a yes or no. Your whole being already knows the answer, and the rods are just responding to that. So really, our body is the instrument, and the rods or the pendulum are just the tools. But they only respond because your body energy is already known. It may be in the subconscious, but it does know, and which is why the instruments then respond.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah, good.
Super, thank you. Yeah. Gosh, yeah. Anyone else? You come full screen now, Diane.
Oh.
I don't know how this works, you know. But,
I have a question, but it's relating to in terms of businesses.
yes.
How can we apply the tools and techniques that you do, not just to homes, but to businesses as well?
It's exactly the same process, because businesses are made of people and buildings. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, so, and the key part of this is when you're working with someone in their home, I wouldn't work with them unless they were there, because about your story in relation to your home, because it's your inner house externalized, and you've got this play going on between you and your home. Whoever attracted, did it attract you? Did you attract it? It's a co-productive thing. So when you look at businesses, you've got to work with somebody who is in charge, who owns it, the CEO at least, if not the actual owner, somebody who has authority, you know, to really hold the heart. It comes back to the heart of the place. Who has the authority to make the decisions, take responsibility, and then in a sense you treat it the same way as you would with someone and their home, because the business is their baby, is their home.
Yeah.
If it's just someone, I've been asked to do, you know, work with organizations, and they're just going to send, you know, the caretaker in to kind of let me in, and you know, it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. But when you work, I mean, I worked for a charity once, and there were 12 people, and we did the do, and we sat around the table, and I find a really good way of actually getting a team together is to go through their 9-star key astrology. And we did that just for an hour or two, and it really brings people together. It's fun. People expose their, you know, characteristics, how they relate to each other. I get a call after about a week, and they say, and the lady who ran it said, yeah, I'm not sure quite what you've done, but half of them have resigned.
Oh, wow.
And what had happened was that the process had exposed a lot of untruth and dishonesty, and in fact one ended up with criminal police proceedings against her for fraud.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, what it does is kind of shake up the framework, the glue that is holding things together, and if it's not in truth, it will just collapse. So this work really does go quite deep, but it's an energetic framework we're working with all the time. And it's about seeing and feeling, you know, that etheric, the blueprint, the programs that are running in the air, and being tuned into those and kind of weave where you're going.
Yeah.
For the home, same for the business.
Okay, brilliant.
So yeah, so in principle, that's, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, wonderful. Good to meet you, by the way, because I haven't really seen any of you. We've lost Whitney.
Oh, aren't I still here?
Oh no, you're still there. Ah, you're not.
Can you see me?
You've just come up because you're talking, but I think okay. I see what it is. I think it's the size of the screen only shows.
Can you zoom in?
No, it's okay. I'm seeing you now. You're talking. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Whitney's from. You're over in the US, I assume now.
Yes, outside of the city, outside of New York City.
Wow. Yeah, you can tell the light around you is brighter than us lot over here in the UK where it's dark outside. This is rather fun though, isn't it? Wonderful. So yeah, what more would we like to share?
I have another one, but maybe someone else wants to go.
Anyone else want to? Go on, Jeremy, it's come up.
Okay, I'm having to move through circumstances. The house is being sold.
Yes.
And what is the main key ways of finding a good place to go to?
Wow, love it. Yeah.
What am I going to look for as the main priorities? Because I'm quite worried about what's going to happen and where I'm going to go.
I mean, are there particular circumstances that need to take you to a particular area, town, world?
Well, there's a lot of sort of things in the mix, really. My job may finish because the school I work for may close, but we don't know. Someone gave us a donation of 40,000, which is keeping us going, and he intends to try to keep us going. He's a big businessman with a lot of money.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I would go close to the school, but if the school closes, I would go anywhere else. Okay. You know, the world is my oyster, if you like. So there's a lot going on with that, and how can I orientate myself in the situation, really?
But it feels like
there may be some proceeds from the sale of this house that maybe help me to buy a place. Presently, I don't have a place.
Yeah. But it feels like all the ingredients haven't fallen into place yet. You don't know if you're going to have to stay or the school or.
Yeah.
That's a major factor because there's no point looking in particular areas. The thing is, once you decide which area, let's get past that point. Once you decide which area, then it's about really being as clear as you can about. In fact, all this work is about what is your soul journey here on earth? Yeah. Bigger picture stuff. And really what is to put out there, because, we co-create or we create the universe through our, what we need and what will support that soul journey. So if you put out there, as clearly as you can where you feel you're going, even ask your guides, your angels, show me the path, find me a place, you will be taken to where you need to be next. And there's never a wrong place. I mean, you can get an awful place and you think, why the hell did I kind of move here? But even that is part of your learning process because you've attracted it at this moment in your life. And so it's never wrong, and we're never a victim of where we live. And some people, do think that, oh, the house is, destroying my life, but it's not quite like that. So once you put that out and you can be in as clear a space as possible, you'll find the universe will start responding and the property will just appear. I mean, I've had this so many times with houses, properties, a car, and you just wake up one morning. When I went to get the car I've got now, I woke up one morning, this was like 10 years ago, and I just had this real kind of shaft of light and a sense of geographical direction. And I just said, we've got to go over here. I know there's a car somewhere over here. And my partner said, oh yes, I know a garage there. We went there, and there it was, the exact specification of what I had in my mind. And it appeared as if by magic. So the universe does respond, but you will get what you want, but it may not be what is the highest and best for your soul purpose. So we've got to be a little bit careful with what we put out there. It's like when we're dowsing, yeah, I'm sure you know. The first thing with dowsing is always to ask, well, for permission first, but then to ask for the highest and best answer.
Yeah.
In any questioning, because that's what we're after, is highest and best for one's soul journey or whoever you're dowsing for. So that's kind of, but I think you need to be clear first of all in your case. Are you moving with the school, or do you have free reign? And then when you start looking geographically, and another way I work with people is to get a map of the country if you're staying in England, and actually douse over it with a pendulum.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've done that with mapping, and so you've got the map, and you kind of you're going over the whole of England, north of England, or if narrow it down where you want to be.
And asking the question of what my best place to be.
Yeah, it's like saying, show me the highest and best place for my soul to resonate, and you'll find it will start going magnetic and sticking, and you move over and then it pulls it back. I'm sure you're familiar with that sense. And then it can start spinning on the spot, and then you start doing the 3D world stuff. You start looking on the internet for that area, see what comes up, and you should find that house will just go whoosh, jump out the screen, and it's like, that's it, and it will call you. And it really is quite an incredible way of working, but you do have to kind of take the initial steps and get that clarity and focus. But and another way you can then of course do it, when you do find 1 or 2 or 3 houses, you can actually ask the dowsing rods, show me out of 10. That's 0 and that's 10 in my scale, but you can use whatever scale. The highest and best, for this particular property, and if it kind of hovers around, there we go, that's gone 100%. Or if it hovers around 50, then it's kind of 50-50. And you can start to hone it down in all sorts of ways. But all the dowsing rods again are showing you is what your soul already knows. But your mind might be interfering and overlaying it and allowing you to have a clear answer. So that's why the tools are useful, but we are really the instrument, and never to forget that.
Yeah.
Good, lovely, thank you. Yeah, and anyone else? Quite happy if you just listen, but any more?
I've got a question, Christian.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if this is relevant. I'm just listening to your last conversation. How do you find your life purpose?
That's...
I'm going back to basics here.
Absolutely. And it's kind of going. It's kind of what makes your heart sing.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
okay.
To you now, because this is not theoretical stuff. What makes you feel good?
What are you asking me a question, or are you getting me to think about that?
Both, whatever. If you want to engage in it now, that's fine. It's a mini consultation, but essentially it is about looking at what makes you see. If your heart feels good when you think, okay, I want to go and be a musician or a train driver or whatever, and you suddenly start to expand, it means your heart is in resonance to it. And it's like the dowsing, it's like testing the ground. What do I want to be doing? What am I here for? So there's an open question to you right now. What are you here for in this lifetime?
Well, what makes my heart sing is making a difference to people.
Yeah.
Just making a difference to people in their lives. That's what I want to do. That's always what I want to do.
Right. Okay.
But I don't know in what area. I mean, in the past, I've done caring. I've done a lot of caring and working with children.
Right.
And now I don't know what else I want to do, what the next thing I want to do. I mean, I've started to use pendulums myself, for me. I don't know if I want to do house whispering, but it sounds, I'm getting quite interested in it and how it all works, and I want to know more.
Yeah.
But I suppose I'm in a space of exploring at the moment, lots of different things.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, sometimes we just got to, you know, scan and explore and try and just see what really kind of, you know, makes us feel good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always get into that space where I think, oh, am I going to find the right thing? Is this going to be the right thing? All the time it's like, is it the wrong thing? Is it the right thing? And then I probably don't really experience things because I'm too busy thinking, well, I've got to make the right decision. I think that's where I get stuck.
Yeah. The danger is too much thinking with any of this stuff. This is really a feeling. Any of this work always comes back to how does it feel, and if you want to change in life, you've got to get back to the emotion. It's not a thinking thing. You can't rationalize and change life. You've got to actually feel it, because then you're locking in to all the emotions and every aspect of you that you know really is able to then change. So and some people do kind of head stuff so much, even after they know intuitively where they should be going or what the answer is, they suddenly rationalize it. And it's about learning to trust and act on your intuition, and not to kind of shit. I mean, I'm sure we've all done that at different levels. Yeah.
That's helpful.
Good, thank you. Wow.
Thank
you. Can you all see each other on the screen? Because I can see all 6 of you now, and well, 5 of you and me. Do you see?
You can't see me, can you, Christian? Because I can't see anyone else.
Sorry,
I can.
Who's speaking?
Maria.
Oh,
From Lisbon.
I can see you, Miriam. Maria, you mean?
Maria. From
I can see you. I can see you on your iPhone. Yes, it says right. Yeah.
You can't see me, can you, Christian?
Sorry, who's that?
It's Anna.
Anna. No, I can't. I can hear you, but I can't.
I can't see anyone, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
I can't see Anna or Karen.
No, I think it depends on how you set your screen up and whether you're on an iPad or iPhone. I'm just looking on a PC, and there's 6 of us on the screen. But I can't see you, Karen. You're on your iPad, it says.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Now you've appeared because you've started talking. Oh, where is your...
I turned my video on.
You've been hiding. That's naughty. You can't do that. Oh, you're trying to...
I've not been very well today, so I was like, oh no, I can't go on screen.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, well, welcome your video picture. You look fine, yeah. So where are you based, Karen?
I'm in Forest Row.
Oh, okay. Okay, we got a bit of an international lot today. Magic.
Yeah.
We see why I said I didn't want more than 8 people. Can you imagine if because you can take up to 50 people. God knows how that works.
Wow. It gets quite hectic, doesn't it?
I don't know. I've never done this before, and
yeah, it's It's
I've
great.
been using this system for the training, and the idea is to have 12. So this is a test run, if you like. So God knows how
Yeah.
it's going to work. But Karen, where are you at then? Any questions?
I saw your email and apologies to I didn't see the reply, so I was actually out doing some earth acupuncture. So yeah, have I got any questions? I just thought it was a great opportunity to be on the call and be in the conversation. Really, I'm living in an apartment in the centre of Forest Row, and I'm having a really interesting journey with it.
Right. Okay.
I think a friend of mine said, because it's on a ley line, she said, "Oh wow, well done for you. You know, you're riding you chose to ride the dragon."
Whoa. do you have a purpose there then? Is that?
Yeah, I think it's here to. Well, I mean, you know, you might well know better than I. It's I needed a sanctuary and a retreat to kind of create some change.
Yeah.
Some pretty big changes, and so I've obviously been guided to a house on a ley line. And was quite unwell with it for the first few months.
Yeah.
And then kind of got a few nudges very early on in the morning.
Right.
To start doing space clearing, grab my dowsing rods downstairs. Yeah. I'm like, what? 4 o'clock in the morning? Are you joking? It's like,
well, yeah.
Outside. So I've been, you know, if I don't do it once a week, things get really tough.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd probably like to have a conversation about what this home is here to teach me. I think it's fully brought me to earth acupuncture and to really connecting with homes, which is what I wanted.
Right.
But yeah, if you have any, if you know anything from that I've shared, if you have any tips or any questions or anything that springs out for you, I'd really welcome.
Well, as I was saying earlier to Jeremy, you know, we're never drawn to anywhere unless there's a purpose, and there will always be a significance as to why we are drawn somewhere and not someone else, or why to a certain place. And it's like about sitting with it and listening to it. Yes, whispering is kind of the process, but it's like letting it talk to you. And you know, some lines will talk louder than others, but you know, a lot of our senses of understanding what's happening is the knowledge is in the vibration. And the vibration is holding a program and a code, and we can receive that, we can soak it in, and we may not understand it with our head, but we know it with our body and our whole being. And that's the thing to trust. That's why sitting with something and letting it soak in, and then just kind of being okay with that, and eventually that will kind of filter through the different faculties of our being to the mind that will then rationalize with an understanding that, that's what's going on, and it all falls into place. But if you try to understand it by standing on a line and saying, give me the answer. I mean, I did this very quick story. You may have heard it before or read it in the book, but I went to Shark Cathedral. And there were 4 of us. We spent 4 days living in the cathedral. This was 15 years ago. I wanted to know the secrets of Shark Cathedral in the sacred geometry. It wasn't giving it to me, was it? You know, the Templars came in and checked us out, you know, in spirit. It was quite an experience. Anyway, so I was over in the cafe on the 3rd day, and one of the ladies said, you know, because I was looking a bit depressed, knocking back the coffee and the Gouloir cigarettes I used to smoke then. And she said, "What's the matter?" And I said, I'm just not being given the secrets of Shark Cathedral and the universal geometry. And she said, "Have you asked?" And I thought, oh, I hadn't asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, really fundamental. What I tell clients and, what I work with people, and it's like, I hadn't asked the most important question for myself. And at that moment, as soon as that, oh my God, I didn't ask, suddenly I started getting all these holographic codes flooding down through my crown. And I could recognize them, but didn't understand them. And they were just cascading, and they were very familiar. And there were so many of them, I was trying to grapple and understand them. Of course, you couldn't. And I just eventually had to let go and just drop into my heart and into my whole being and just absorb them. And it was the most humbling experience. And then went back into the cathedral and just sat looking at the south window, which is the masculine hexagonal window. And it was like it was ratcheting in light. And it was like it was resetting my whole DNA program. And I had two choices, either to fight it or just allow it to do its magic, which is what the cathedral is for. It's a healing temple. It's designed for many things. And it was absolutely mind-blowing, because it blew me out of the mind, and I had to be in the heart, and it just broke me down, tears, and
Wow.
a few old French ladies going by saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" in
Oh
French.
my God.
It's like, I've just had
Yeah.
So it really is magic the way it works, but you do have to ask and engage with, the universe with it. So
It's a great point. Thank you. It's like, I haven't even asked. I'm like, I wonder what you're like. I've got a sense. But it's like, like talking. It's like having a conversation with someone. It's right in front of them. Like having a conversation about them.
Yeah,
it's like
when we talk about spirits and ghosts and paranormal, and people say, "Well, how do I communicate with one if it's there?" And I just say, "Well, just talk to it like you're talking to me, and get into a conversation." And you'd be surprised how you can just chat normally. They're just as if they were human embodiment, but they're just without a body, and they're kind of stuck, but they're still there. They're just in another vibrational plane. And this is why we can connect and hear and feel and see, depending on your own perceptions. So ask, and let me know what they say. That'd be fascinating.
I will do.
And your journey begins at another level then. So that's super.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm kind of aware, I know we said 33 minutes, but I think we've got 45 before they cut us off. So I will actually be up, because a little sign came up saying you need to upgrade because it's going to end. So I'm on a freebie at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but next time I will have upgraded. I just want to test, make sure it does work, which it does. So I'm really happy. So we have got a bit longer, and it'll probably tell us when it's about to flash. And so we'll go on for the full 40 minutes. Gosh, you've got a naked man there behind you, Sophie.
It's a woman.
Is that someone wandering through, or is it the spirit of Sophie?
Yeah.
I'm guessing, well, this is not live, but
I've got a question.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful.
I'm about to purchase a field part of a field adjacent to my house.
Okay.
I was wondering about the best way of connecting the field to the house.
Yeah, really good question. It all comes down to when you build an extension, And most people just build an extension because they want to expand something in life, but often don't ask permission of the original soul of the house. Yeah, and that creates all sorts of problems. So it's kind of about asking the house and the land separately, you know, do they want to kind of talk to each other? It's that kind of conversation that we were saying, you know, with the ley lines or with the cathedral. And it would be, it could be a bit of a problem if the field said no. But, you know, sometimes, like if you're going to develop a site and build a house or something on it, you've got to ask permission, because if the land doesn't want it, wow, the elementals of the land will create havoc and they'll just take you out. Yeah, I mean, they're seriously powerful. Cutting down trees and things, and you don't muck around with that stuff. So asking permission is really important. And if there's a kind of, well, we're not sure, then you need to again get into conversation and find out, well, what can we do? Maybe plant a few more trees or do a ceremony or something. But don't do ceremony to get what you want. That's not the way to do it. Yeah, people say, oh yeah, we're going to do a ceremony and it's okay. No, it's you know, you've got to be, so again, it's about talking and communicating with it. And if it kind of then, the house saying yes, the field saying yes, then there is a process of, and it's what I do when I finish working with someone in a day with their home. It's about getting your heart